Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the 50-cent late pick 5 at Saratoga on Whitney Saturday with the $100,000 Lure Stakes for older horses going a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. Play the late pick 5 with your DRF Bets account. Sign up using the promo code HELLO. Let's meet this competitive field in the $100,000 Lure. Again, a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. There's got to be some pace in here, Mike. Voodoo Song, the 7. Guido, the 9. They hooked up last time out in the Forbidden Apple. That day, Guido had the rail. Voodoo Song, coming off the layoff, had an outside post. Guido was intent on the lead. Voodoo Song conceded, prompted. They both paid the price. This time, Voodoo Song is inside of Guido, and I think Voodoo Song is going to go for the front.
Yeah, I do too. And he's second off the layoff now, too. You heard Linda Rice talking before that Forbidden Apple. She wasn't even sure she was going to run there. He probably needed that race. I think he probably got something out of it too. And I do think, like you, he's probably going to go to the front. But listen, Guido, if you know anything about him, all of his good races are when they just send him to the front. I thought he ran well last time, despite finishing 9th. This time it's just going to be a little different. I found it tough to really like either one of them too much, just because they're both back in here. But if I had to take one, I'd probably take Voodoo Song.
I agree. Here's the Timeform US pace projector. Red bar situation indicating a fast pace. Voodoo Song on the lead. Guidouche probably won't be too far behind. And a horse that might sneak into a good spot is down on the rail. And that's Noble Indy, who won the Louisiana Derby in 2018. Todd gelded him over the winter. He came back with a couple of nondescript efforts on the dirt. He's been a little bit better on the turf. Last time out, he kind of made an easy lead, took some pressure, tired late. I'm not sure if Noble Indy is good enough to beat these horses, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the right trip under Johnny V.
Yeah, the trip could go a long way for him. And listen, he's run fine in his first 2 turf starts, but I'm with you. I just didn't see enough to make me want to bet him against horses like this. I think this is a really good field, Dan.
Lecoulin is one of those really good horses. Before he went to the sidelines, presumably with a serious injury, this horse was keeping company with Robert Bruce and Spring Quality and Synchrony and Yoshida, and he finished ahead of a horse named Bricks and Mortar in the 2017 Hill Prince, currently arguably the best horse on any surface in North America in 2019. Lecoulin came off a gigantic layoff last time out. He's as ornery as he is talent. He threw a little bit of a fit behind the gate. He will flash his tail when you ask him for run. His lead changes are no good. It doesn't matter. He sat 3 wide off that slow pace and really didn't have much problems beating that field. He can also come from farther out of it. He's a prime contender in here.
Yeah, he is. In a lot of ways, he's one of the horses to beat in here. He was really good before he went away. And just the fact that he was gone for so long and came back to run that kind of race off the layoff, I mean, I think you have to take his chances very seriously in there. He ran really well last time, sitting up close. He did change his leads back and forth a couple times at the end, but he was a pretty dominant winner in there. I think in a lot of ways, he's the horse to beat in here, Dan.
Chad Brown, of course, is well represented. Let's talk about his stranger. The number 5, Sacred Life. Sacred Life looked like he could be anything after his first 3 races as a 2-year-old. He destroyed that field in the Prix-Thomas Briand, and then he was going to run in the Group 1 Grand Criterium, which had to be postponed. There were all sorts of protests that day. He went to the shelf. He came back, and lo and behold, everybody caught up with him. He has not run back to that 2-year-old form. It is worth noting, his last win came on firm turf, and I think he wanted no part of a mile and a quarter in those 3 races. I like him cutting back.
Yeah, I think the shorter distance is a lot better for him. And, maybe he never panned out off of that really good start, but he's been, Group 3 placed a couple of times. He's done okay against some good horses. He fits very well in this race. And he already has a race this year, too, so you don't have to really worry about him off of a long layoff or anything like that. I mean, there are things to like about this horse.
Including Chad Brown. Let's take a look at the formulator fact over the past 6 months. Horses aged 4 and up, foreign shippers, first Lasix turf, 5 for 11, 8 on the board, 536 return on investment. Chad also has the frustrating Ticonderoga. And Ticonderoga has the talent to win a race like this. He just beats himself, A, with his running style, which is just he's a one-run closer that's pace and trip dependent. B, like Lecoulin, he's bad with his lead changes. Last time out in the poker, he just kind of got out sprinted as he always did. There wasn't a ton of pace. He came widest. He tried. He just wasn't there. He likes Saratoga, and the last time he got a truly fast pace was that race at Saratoga last year over Yielding Ground where he came running to win it. He should get the right setup here. I just don't know if he's a graded stakes horse at this point. And this is a graded stakes quality field, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, he could be there at the end of this race. All the problems with him that you laid out are the things that make you not really want to go too heavy after him in the win pools. He's talented, that's for sure. And I do think he's going to catch pace to run into in this race. We'll see if he gets the right kind of a trip. I was disappointed in his last race, if only because he was, way at the back of the field along with Gucci Factor, who was the winner.
Yeah.
Gucci Factor's a nice horse, but he just couldn't really kick with that horse. I was pretty disappointed with his performance last time.
I wonder if the now horse in here is Say the Word, who's only 4 years old. He's still improving. It looks like Ram Motion's gotten him good. Last time out was a one-turn mile at Woodbine. He fell out of it early. He was running on at the end of that race. I really thought the junior wanted to get outside at the top of the straight, and he couldn't do it. And he kind of stayed in behind horses, but he finished evenly. I think a mile and a 16th is very good for Say the Word. I like him stretching out slightly in here. He might even want more distance, but he's going to get the right setup.
Yeah, I think he is too. I think he can get a good trip in here. I like this distance for him too, and I think he fits well in this field. And like you, I just think he's going to be an okay price in here. I thought he ran fine last time. I wasn't blown away by it, but I thought he ran fine. He was really trying at the end of that race. I really liked his win two-back at Belmont Park, where he had to extricate himself from a little bit of traffic in the stretch, and then he flew home once he got clear. That wasn't against horses like this, but he showed that he has a real big kick in him when he gets the right trip. He'll get a good trip in this race. He's going to be a price.
Ram Motion Formulator fact for Say the Word. Past 4 years, older horses, 31 to 60-day layoffs, restricted, non-graded turf routes, 4 for 9, 304 ROI. We take a look at our top picks. You like Say the Word. You can laugh now. I picked Projected again.
I can't believe it.
Well, no, you can believe it because I'm Projected's only fan. Now, Projected hasn't won. Let's go to the negatives.
Yeah, go ahead.
He hasn't won a race in 2 years.
Right.
He's not very reliable.
Right.
I think that this is the spot if there ever was one for Projected. Let's go over his 3 races this year. The allowance off the layoff I won't hold against him. It was a starting off point. The Monmouth last time out, he was just in too tough against Almanar. When Almanar and Synchrony are good, they're better than Projected.
Yes.
2 back in the Cliffhanger, he ran okay. And I really think if you switch the trips with him and Hawkish, he wins. He lost ground turning into the stretch. Hawkish was able to save the ground. That's the representative effort. Whether it's good enough to win this race or not, I don't know. But A, he will be a price, and B, he's going to get the right setup.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't argue with that. You're very practiced at making excuses for him because that's really all you get to do is make excuses for him. Listen, I'm not a fan. He's not the kind of horse I want to be betting win money on in this race. But you're right. Maybe he'll be a fair price in this race. Then I won't argue. I don't really know what the fair price is for him. I just couldn't bet this horse.
You like Say the Word in here. He is going to be a fair price, and at least he has shown winning form recently. Give me some numbers.
I put Say the Word on top. I'm not against LeCoq. I think LeCoq in a lot of ways is the horse to beat. I went 6-2, and I threw Ticonderoga in third, 6-2 and 8.
I want to spread in this pick 5. Obviously, when you pick Projected, you have to spread in a race like this. I'm also going to use the 5 Sacred Life. I'm curious to see what Chad has brought over from France here. I have to use LeCullen and maybe defensively a little Noble Indy. I know he's been disappointing. I think he gets the same trip he got in that Risen Star, which was sort of his coming out party on dirt last year. Down on the inside, he finished up okay. 3-5-2-1 for me in the lure. Mike's going with the 6, Say the Word with a late flurry. Pace should be hot. We didn't even talk about perhaps the new Prince of Saratoga, Voodoo Song, as a win candidate, and he could easily win this race. We kick off the late pick 5 with the lure. Bet it with a DRF Bets account. Sign up using the promo code HELLO. An approximate post time is 4:31 Eastern. Good luck.